end zone. Watch me. No man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when I tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
We go set. And two stop.
I got it. Begin.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just one.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On second down, Barkley. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, it's Manning. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here's Sherrills. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Check cross. Hey, switch gears.
Hey, kill. Hey, I-7.
Check, 93's the mic.
Breeze now on 1st down. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Ready. 5-9. Hey, kill. Shit. Kill.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for it. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Breeze now. He's going to walk one deep left side here. Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Barkley. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And they're going to try for the 4th down conversion. Manning in the offense staying put.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Go, go. Now.
Mike's 47.
You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know, bro.
They do go for it. It's Manning. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A couple of first downs on the drive already as they go from the 47 now on 1st down. Nifty running by Barkley there on 1st down. He scoots forward for 7 yards, sets him up nicely, 2nd and 3. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Mike, 45. Check 55. Mike, go.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Manning. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. 3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack.
Stop your whining.
Check. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Ready?
Shotgun now for Manning. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves. Maybe
a breakaway for Michael Thomas. The 30, 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
You don't know no better. Switch.
Five.
Check.
Look at me. Zipper.
Motion.
On third down, Barkley. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
He's not going to get me.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report.
Hey, Delta. Yes.
Check, 47. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Let's get that ball. Kill. Turn up.
Here we go on 4th down with Madden. That's to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
Yep.
First and 10.
Hey, Hayward.
47's the mic.
Throwing on first down is Manning. He's going to walk one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Hey, Order.
I don't even know why this team showed up. Check.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, 89 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Saints 14, Giants nothing.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll ban.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kareem Martin leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Echo.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic.
Don't get nervous.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
I smell fear.
Kill. Hey, Alpha.
Check, 93's the mic.
Throwing now is Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time remaining for likely one final play. You're on your side of the field, but, heck, maybe you throw one up 50-plus yards, see what happens.
Don't forget that taking the knee is the right play to make because you just get out of there, you regroup, you start over. But if you're going to take the shot, you do have a chance of either making the play happen or picking up a deep pass interference call. And remember, it's the NFL. You get yardage. It's not just a 15-yard play. You could have something big here. Let's see if they take the shot.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, dude.
You can't block me. You can't block me. SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS.
Go.
One final try now for Manning. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
Let's go, baby.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they?
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. 75 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Hey, high 7. Rock it. Now.
Ringo.
On 2nd and 9, Madden. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 72 yards. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
The Saints take over.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
36. Small. Easy.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Well, a free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Breeze able to find the veteran Ginn, and he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
11. Hey, Charlie.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And the throw there going to be incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
No, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Ready.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Check. 53.
Five.
23.
They'll go for it. It's Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal.
80 weapons.
Slam. Hey, check.
Now they'll run. Murray. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves them with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Hey, Delta.
Working from the gun. Manning. It's caught. Shepard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now Manning, over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
You got it. You got it. You got it. 47's the mic.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Manning now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's now thrown 4 interceptions, and I hate to mention this, but he's a guy that has twice thrown 5 in his career in a single game.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And the tough part is, playing in this NFL, you don't normally just back off totally from throwing the football, do you? So the potential exists for that 5th one to occur.
Now Breeze. Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Defense all day. All day.
We're good. We're good. High forward. Ready.
Now Breeze to try again after the pick six. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and that'll bring up second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it,
Ted Ginn's going to go. Touchdown, New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Manning to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Manning going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check.
Yes.
Get your swerve on.
47.
They'll go for it. It's Madden. Now a desperation throw deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Bree's going to throw here. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. That's caught. It's Thomas. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
5-1. 10. Hey, Charlie.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual
it.
Guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. Into the red zone now. Madden to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Golden Tate. Incomplete. Eli Apple on the coverage.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
On 2nd down, here's Madden. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now, to put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check, 93's the mic, 93.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the...
No fading us,